Hello, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. Today we have quite the special video for you today. As you can see, this is in arms race in the Des Moines on Warrior's Path. So for those of you who are newer who may not know what arms race is, it's basically a battle where you can kind of see these small circles on the map, and those are buffs that you can get for your ship. So the ones in front of me on the screen are heals, so it's continuous healing for a ship. There's also one where you get enhanced or more health pool, larger health pool for your ship. There's also, I think there's an armament reload. And then there's doing more damage. So the armament reload is like your shells reload faster, which you're going to see us do in a brief moment when I introduce the ship to you. And then the extra damage is just your shells do more damage. So you can kind of see seizing the buffs, and you also get points for seizing these buffs as well. So I am divvied up with a clanmate of mine, Sergeant Murder in the Yamato, who's going to be stationed more or less on the 9 line towards the back. And you'll see him take advantage of some really good shots here. But today's future is none other than the tier 10 tech tree, the US Des Moines. This ship is fantastic. It's continuing to grow on me more and more. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started playing the ship, I had a really hard time with it and understanding it, and felt like getting the most out of it. But now I feel like I'm getting the most out of it. If I want to run in ranked, I basically take Des Moines. And from what you saw in the title, I won't give it away if you didn't double check the title, but we're going to be doing a lot of damage. We're going to be doing a lot of farming. And this Des Moines is set up with the legendary upgrade, unique upgrade, the enhanced propulsion power plant. So what this legendary upgrade does is that it goes in the 6th slot and it gives your propulsion plus 50%, and then it improves your rudder shift time by plus 20%. Or maybe I should be saying it reduces your rudder shift time and your acceleration is increased. Yeah, I think that's how I want to say it. And then when you take the other upgrade, I can't remember what slot it is in. I think it is the 4th slot, where you can choose between steering gears and also propulsion. You take the propulsion there as well. So that is the build that we have on the Des Moines. And I did a video. I've done a build on the Des Moines as well. I've gone over what I have. I have some more skill points now on Halsey, as you're seeing the red tracer shells. And that is really nice because with Halsey, he gets an improved, what do you call it? Ammunition switch? Expert loader is 75% versus the standard 50%. So I loved running that on Des Moines because often you're going to constantly be switching between HE and AP. You're going to see me make a lot of good use out of both the high explosive and the armor piercing in this battle. But we'll talk a little bit more about the legendary upgrade. I think I want to do more of a video focusing on it. I just had a battle Saturday night in Des Moines in ranked, and we did over 3,100 base experience. And I was using that unique upgrade, the legendary upgrade, the propulsion plant, really well, I think, in that battle. So maybe we kind of focus more in on that. This battle, it's arms race. There's just a lot of different things going on, and we're mostly focusing on being Des Memes the farmer. So, so let's talk a little bit more about the Des Moines. One of the things I learned when I've done the upgrade commander build on this ship is really when I did the showcasing the battle and then doing the Saturday traditional upgrade and commander build on the Des Moines. In that video, I titled it Marry the Island. So here you can see we're marrying the island. We're working alongside here on the 8 line, because when you're not I mean, you were better off than like the light American cruiser like the Wooster. Des Moines can take a bit more damage with her belt, so on and so forth. But your role really is with contesting vital areas with your radar, supporting your DDs. And if any ship wants to try to make a rush on you, I mean, you punish them with your high explosive armor piercing. Particularly the armor piercing, because you have improved penetration angles with the Des Moines. So I've come up across plenty of Moskvas who think that they're angled enough when they're running up on me, and then I just citadel them through the bow at an angle they think, hey, that shouldn't be a thing, but it's because of the improved penetration angles that you have with the Des Moines. The other thing that's really key, it doesn't only go for the Des Moines, but it also goes for the Buffalo, and that is utilizing on the Des Moines, all 3 turrets, on the Buffalo, all 4 turrets. One of the things I feel like I realized I was struggling with is I often sat too much at an angle, but bow in, and so I was only getting the benefit of 2 of the 3 turrets. Your damage output goes up by that much more when you're able to utilize the rear turret, the 3rd turret. Or what do you call it, ABX? Is that how you phrase it? 2 turrets on the front, 1 on the stern. When you get to use the rear turret, because your damage is going to go up instantly. On the Buffalo, you have ABXY. So you have 2 turrets on the front, 2 turrets on the rear. If you're just staying angled in, more bow in, you're only using half your firepower. So when I started utilizing more of those rear turrets, my damage output increased. And so that's really how you have to be mindful of how you position behind the island. Because if you get it detected, spotted, let's say there's a battleship in the back, and you can just lob shells over the island, like here as an example, and just devastate you. So you have to be aware of what's going on and utilizing the island as well, to not be showing so much side if there is an enemy battleship more in the distance that can snipe you and lob shells over the island. So here we're not in a real threat of that happening. So we're going to push back in, and we're going to start farming this GK. This GK, honestly, is probably going to hate me. I mean, I'm sure he did hate me during this battle, but you'll see more why in the post-battle results when we look at the detailed report to see how much damage we did to him alone. Spoiler alert, it's a lot. Because of those buffs we have here in Arms Race, that they're continuing getting heals. So if you look on the top right of the screen, or mid-top right, you can see that they have all 3 heal buffs. So their maximum heals are ticking. So, and for us, we only have 1 heal. We have 1 faster reload and a larger health pool for your ship. So the enemy team, I mean, they're going to be continuing to heal pretty quickly on top of being able to use the repair party on their ships. So, so we're sitting here and we have this Minotaur that's not able to do much because we're keeping him locked down between our radar, our hydroacoustic search, as he's sitting in that channel. Our Marceau owns the flank on the 10 line. He's not really able to do a lot. So if Marceau gets into position, we can lob shells in undetected, would be really good. The Iowa starts to show a little bit too much side to us, so we instantly switch to the armor piercing, focusing on that upper belt. Ooh, that's 7,400 damage in just 1 salvo. And yeah, so you can see the armor piercing's quite good. Yeah, we're probably switching back to the high explosive here. I'm just curious to how the damage value difference we're going to see. So it's really good. I mean, whenever they show broadside, especially when you have or too much angle, when you have Halsey, it's just being able to switch between the 2 shell types, like just 1 point some odd seconds, is really fantastic. Because our reload, by the time we get more buffs, is going to be rather ridiculous. So here, and using the enhanced propulsion plant, speeding up here, trying to get more of a side. But Sergeant has a nice surprise for him, as waiting for him to do that broadside and slap. Again, I don't want to talk too much about the enhanced propulsion power plant yet, but one of the things that was a challenge for me with this, it's like with power comes great responsibility, like referencing Spider-Man there. And she's like a beast. It's like, imagine you are 16 years old, you have a driver's permit, and someone gives you the keys to their Ferrari and says, go take it for a spin. But you're such an experienced driver, you've never driven anything like this before, and you may wreck. You might get into an accident. You may just destroy total the car. That is the experience I had when I first put the enhanced propulsion plant on the Des Moines, because when you don't have it, you're used to having to throttle up so much just to get to the corner of an island or something like that. But what I'd often do is I would still have that mindset, then have the upgrade on. I would go out past the island and then just get blapped or something. So it's really having to, I don't know how to put this better, like finesse, like very cautiously how you use the acceleration, because that enhanced propulsion, you know, not only is it going forward, but also in reverse is quite nice. So often when I'm playing this, I'm only just doing a quarter speed forward and then full back. I'm just kind of working in between those two. I'm taking my time. So we've done a lot of HE damage to the GK, so I decided to go ahead and switch to the armor piercing here, because he's giving us this good side. We end up thinking by the end of the battle, we knock out 4 of his secondaries and 17 AA guns. Not that there's any carriers in this battle, but I haven't been even paying attention to the damage count, but we're already over 294,000 damage. I had a battle before this one, probably a week before, and it was a defeat, but I got 337,000 damage. So my goal was to beat that. So that's mostly what you're going to be seeing me in this battle, is beating that, because there's a lot of opportunities here to make a play. So let's just sitting here. This Minotaur is about to lose his buddy in the GK. So he is going to panic. He is going to run. We are going to take advantage of him running. So now our focus is on him. We're going to see what he's doing. And instantly we can see he's turning away. I go full throttle, but we have the torpedoes coming, so we're going to make sure that we don't eat any of those. But they're pretty far out of the way. He's aimed them, I'm assuming, towards our GK. So we're going to keep the armor piercing loaded. He's so close that we're actually going to be able to do a good bit of damage. We shouldn't get too many ricochets. Focusing, yeah, actually we knocked out a rear gun. So he's just getting wrecked now. The Marcel is just pumping armor piercing into his side, and it looks like he also has the unique commander on the Marcel. I don't remember how to pronounce the name of that ship, or captain. I think it's like Felipe something, but you can get him in the armory for coal. The way you get Halsey is you do so by completing a campaign, the hit hard, hit fast, hit often campaign, something like that. And he has a couple unique talents. We have the I'm trying to remember what the second one is. You have expert loader. It's enhanced skill, but I can't remember what the other one is. But you also get the perks if you get double strike. Your consumer goes down by 10%, and then if you get Confederate, your reload time is greatly increased. So with the reload buffs, we were maxed out. It would be like almost having the Confederate achievement unlocked now. If I'm watching the screen, yeah. Is that less than a 3-second reload? Or is it just over? It's hard to tell. 2. Okay, I think it's just under 4 seconds. It's like 3 something, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. I'd have to pause it to be able to read those small digits clearly. So, I mean, you can just see it's a river of damage coming out of Des Moines. I have the health, so I don't mind coming out here in the open. And you know, the FDG is kind of a struggle. It doesn't have the most accurate guns anyhow, so I'm not really concerned. I'm keeping the island between me and the Riga, so he can get shots off on me. But I'm going to dive this island up here, and then we're going to take the fight to the Riga. So now we're up over 373,000 damage. Damage still pouring in. And again, with Des Moines, I feel like you'll really get the most out of hugging the islands. I mean, when you've been watching the gameplay, I don't think it's necessarily super exciting. Like, oh, like, he did this, and it was really cool, and you went and did this. But it's just a lot of standard gameplay in Des Moines and just using islands. For me, that has been the key to making Des Moines work. You know, then when you get the opportunities, if you rush a battleship or something with your, you know, I've rushed Yamatos before, and you get so close. I mean, you can citadel them through that cheek armor. But this Riga is showing us a good bit of too much side, so we've got the armor piercing flowing. We've just broken 400,000 damage. You know, keep in mind, like, you know, we're only able to do this much damage because of the buffs in arms race, because of the heal buffs the enemy team has, and because of having the max armament reload time with the Des Moines. So, so it's more of an arcade battle mode game type. Otherwise, this would be much more difficult to do because having Confederate would be needed, as well as the enemy team to keep healing up and be farming them as we're doing in this battle. So we've reached 419,000 damage, and the game is about to end as we're about to reach 1,000 points, which happens now. So let's go in and look at the team score. So on and so forth. So 774,000 credits, 15,300 experience, 3,269 free XP, 419,465 damage, over 600 target hits, 2 destroyed, 14 set on fires. So we were letting our fires work for us. So sometimes you may see me hop between targets. Once I know I got a permafire stuck on one ship, I would switch to the other. And sitting at the top with that nice 3,653 base experience. So it was really fun. I mean, the gameplay might be exact for you as the viewer, but I was having a lot of fun in this battle and trying to focus on farming as much damage as I could. And there's the GK I was talking about, 173,000 damage to him alone. So we did over 55,000 damage in fires, over 40,000 damage with AP, and then I think the rest was with HE shells. And then the credits and XP with the premium account. So all in total, we took a 599,000 profit out of that game. So this is showing you Des Moines, Des Memes, the farmer. I think I'm going to have fun creating the thumbnail for this video. So hopefully you liked this video. The arms race, when it does come around, it's a really good opportunity to try out and test tier 10 ships that you may own, or tier 9, if you're trying to figure them out and get used to them, because it doesn't, it's not a, there's no stats on arms race. It doesn't affect your win rate, for example, in randoms, co-op, ranked. So you can really test things out in these different game modes that are temporary, because we don't have arms race anymore as this video goes live. So it's a really good playground if you're trying to figure out that tier 9, tier 10 ship. Very helpful. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll link, put a link in the top right of the screen here if you want to see the upgrade and commander build that I have on the Des Moines. So if you liked this video, give a thumbs up. If you did not, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you have already subscribed, thanks so much. Super appreciate it. And until next time, take care.